now start 5-minute rounds of questions, alternating between Republicans and Democrats. I'll go first, then Senator Heinrich, and then alternating between Republicans and Democrats in order of seniority subject to the early arrival rule. Mr. LaCerte, let's start with you. One might observe that you haven't had direct experience at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, but you do bring to the table a wealth of personal and professional experience to the role. Tell me, in the committee, how your background has prepared you well to serve as a FERC commissioner, and how your perspective is something that can benefit the commission's work on behalf of the American people.
Senator, thank you for that question. I appreciate the opportunity to answer it. I know you've all heard my paper resume. I've worked at an independent agency before that is bipartisan in nature with both Republicans and Democrats. I've practiced as an attorney at an energy law firm. I think that the most important qualification I have is that I can bring a common sense approach to get problems solved and get things done. And I've proven that to the President of the United States. I have an outstanding set of experiences in safety, in cyber, in a multitude of issues that help FERC. But at the end of the day, I think that we can bring a common sense approach to FERC to work together with the fellow commissioners to kind of have a return to the baseline statutes and make energy more affordable and more reliable.
Thank you. Right, I'm going to ask both of you this next question. There is currently litigation moving through the federal courts challenging the result in a case called Humphrey's Executor. That case, of course, addressed this question of the president's authority to remove a member of a so-called independent agency, to remove somebody in one of those positions from office before the end of a statutorily defined term. We'll start with you, Mr. LaCerte, and then go to Ms. Swett. Mr. LaCerte, what's your view on the issue, and how might that impact your performance or your perspective as a commissioner should you be confirmed?
Thank you, Senator. I'm aware of the trend in cases from Humphrey's Executor. First, I'd like to say we're always going to follow the law if I'm confirmed as a FERC commissioner. But I personally would welcome a modification on Humphrey's Executor. If the Supreme Court rules in that direction, we'll follow the law. Every day that I get to serve the American people and the American public as a gift. I appreciate that every day. I go to work every day, and I give my best effort, 100%, until my service is no longer needed or until the good Lord calls me home. And I'm going to continue to do that if confirmed.
Semper Fi. Ms. Swett.
Thank you for the question, Senator. I share my potential colleagues' views that it would be a true honor to be confirmed to serve on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And of course, I will follow the law and honor the law in everything that I do and consider the merits of every single issue, the law, and the facts before me, irrespective of where the litigation comes out and the length of my term. Thank you.
And Ms. Swett, what would be your top priority as a commissioner while regulating natural gas and energy sectors? You know, the energy commodities that are subject to FERC's jurisdiction represent between 3% and 6% of U.S. GDP, and as core inputs of that energy, those inputs end up having a multiplier effect in the economy. So with that in mind, what would be your top priority if confirmed as a FERC commissioner when regulating natural gas and electricity?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I agree with you. FERC's mission is more important than ever, given its impact on the economy and the unprecedented historic load growth and demand, and also resource adequacy issues facing our country. If I have the honor of being confirmed, I will always go back to the statute that Congress has authorized, and that is encouraging the orderly development of plentiful supplies of electricity and natural gas at reasonable prices for American consumers. And hand in hand with that is FERC's mission of ensuring that the lights are on. We have to ensure that our grid is stable and that all Americans have access to electricity that is reliable.
Sound objectives and very consistent with FERC's statutory mandate. What do you see as some of the most significant impediments to achieving those outcomes?
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. The increasing load that we are facing today, particularly given the AI revolution in our country, which is integral to national security and our economic stability, makes reliability more important than ever. And FERC has dealt with those issues, and so have the states, and it's squarely within the crosshairs of jurisdiction of federalism. And so that is something that we must navigate very thoughtfully, very carefully, and very specific to each instance in which it arises in front of FERC.
Great. Thank you very much. My time has expired. I'll turn the time over to Martin Heinrich.